The Harry Potter Express is coming. There you have it, the steam train that runs out of Fort William. I think it's got some Harry Potter connection because of a bridge around here. I believe there's a bridge very near to Fort William that is the bridge they filmed the Hogwarts Express going to Hogwarts on. Whether or not that bridge still functions as a train bridge, I'm not 100% sure.
And can you trust that you won't blow away in the wind?
We're pretty much in Fort William now. Yesterday's walk was pretty harsh. The Canal Way, the last bit of the Great Glen Way, the Glen Way as I call it, was just hard. I spoke to other walkers and they said it was just hard ground, no softness, and pretty stony most of the way. The last section anyway. So we're now back on a little road with a pathway, fortunately, and we're able to walk into the centre of the town this morning. Yesterday we arrived pretty hungry because the whole latter part of the Glenway has no shops and no real food facilities at this time of year, so we were pretty hungry. We actually only really, what did we have yesterday for food, Michelle? Not a lot.
Not a lot. We had a couple of shortbread biscuits, a little bit of dry pasta that we put some water to, and a flapjack bar.
Yeah, all day walking nearly 30 kilometers. So that was hard, and we really, our feet suffered quite a lot as a consequence. Because there wasn't enough food and to metabolize into sort of energy yesterday. So we've got to try and find that balance. We're 3 weeks in almost, or are we 3 weeks in? 3 weeks in now, and we're still finding our way. God, there's so much junk on the road. People drop so much litter, it's so annoying. And it's locals, it's not tourists. Sorry, what anyone says. So yeah, we've got to find this cadence of getting the right amount of food, because yesterday was hard, but made harder by the fact that we just didn't have food, but made even harder by the fact the Glen Way has very few food options along it. So you've either got to carry tons of food or starve, basically. Now ahead of us here, and we've just seen the train, the pretty little coal train, steam train, but ahead of us under those clouds is the Great Ben Nevis, which apparently almost is never out of cloud. So the chances of you seeing it, a friend of ours is actually walking up there today, and he says by the time he gets to the top there'll be nothing to see, but he just wants to do it. And down here to our right as we walk in, looks like it's the Fort William rugby team practicing for the local derby. My, that's a long time since that pitch has been used, it would seem. But can you imagine in the day when I used to play a bit of rugby on there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 sheep, 12. This is the crap that's keeping everybody paranoid and scared, and I can see it all over this town centre. There's another one coming up. COVID-19, keep your distance. What is this government like? I tell you what, we should bring back hanging. These idiots, they're responsible for so much anguish. They say there was a peak in deaths, but not a peak in COVID. It's been caused by nobody going to the hospitals and fear. Sign of the times, look. Rugby replaced by football. It's a shame. Football's a good sport, but rugby, I think, is a better sport. Well, that's one achievement, I think. Michelle, come in.
We nearly missed it.
The start of the Great Glen Way at Fort William. We've done the whole Great Glen Way, our way. The Glen Way. I still want a chisel grate off of that. Anyway, not so great, but we've done the Glen Way. Oh, look at this. A bloody stupid roundabout when we arrive, with crash barriers forcing us to walk. Here's the town that we want to be in. This is where we're meeting a friend. And what have we got? A dual carriageway at the end of the Great Glen Way, just to rub it in our faces. Welcome to Fort William. Well, you know what you can do with Fort William. And so, the place we were coming to have breakfast is shut. Just to add insult to injury. A dreary little town. Oh, I've just about had enough of this walk. I think we should get on a plane and go to Spain. Okay, so we've refueled. Bags are heavy again, lots of groceries. We're going to head down with a bit more positive attitude to the start of the West Highland Way. The lovely lad there, Jamie, just told us not to go that way. That's the end of the West Highland Way, and they just want it down the end to force people down the high street. So we were going the wrong way anyway. So begins our West Highland Way adventure. We've done the John O'Groats. We've done the, we've just finished, about an hour or so, the Glen Way. Look at that beautiful old Church of Scotland there. And now, fortunately for Jamie, we're on the right route to go on our West Highland Way adventure.
We've got brown signs for this one. We had blue for the Glen Way.
Here's the signs. Slina, Gadal, Galala, whatever. Anyway, this way. And we just asked that lovely mature couple, is this the start? And she said, a very disappointing end for them. 2 miles of roads. But she said a couple of miles from here it might start to open up as it gets near to Ben Nevis. So, as is our want, it would seem, we're walking along a main road, but this time at least we have a footpath to walk along. Famous last words, Michelle. It will probably dry up this footpath in about 2 or 3 blocks.
She did say it was well signposted, so that's
That's
good.
good. She's probably wondering why we're carrying so much gear though. They had little knapsacks on. I was just thinking to Michelle, I was just saying to Michelle that we probably look like 2 of the most unprepared West Highland Way walkers to a lot of them with their small bags. If only they knew that we've been walking for over 3 weeks already, and though they have their little knapsacks on, and they're probably stopping in little hotels en route. Now, we met a girl who was up here who has she had been up for 9 days or so, and she did stop in hotels, and she said she spent close to £1,000 already on hotels. It was very expensive for her. So that's why Michelle and I are not spending 3 months paying for hotels, because it just would be crazy expensive. And it's why we do have to carry everything but it's also why we're getting stronger and fitter.
Bag's heavy today.
So we've just come up to this big roundabout, and none of us, neither of us know where we're supposed to go from here.
I think there's a sign here that's...
3 road options. No sign to say where the West Highland Way is. There it is, found it. So this is the original end of the West Highland Way. And they've moved it in to the town centre so people have to walk through the high street, and they put a nice sort of welcome centre there. But this would have been where people finished it originally, which is quite nice. So this, to me, this is my start of the West Highland Way, because we're going the wrong way, obviously. And for us, it's really just another part of our big John O'Groats to Land's End adventure. We caught them. We caught them.
That looks
It's
more like
Chris and Pete.
It looks more like a flash unit.
It's a GoPro.
It's a GoPro.
It's a GoPro. This lovely couple who we met. Where did we meet? On that roadside. What town was that near before? No, a little further. It was
There wasn't a Dingwall, wasn't it? The bad Dingwall.
Excuse me. It was
COVID. Stand back. Clear the park.
it was the...
So we're so lucky to have met them again here in Fort William.
Right. Bye-bye.
All right, bye. Have a lovely journey. Be safe.
Take care.
Two of our favourite people on the walk, and we were just setting off on the West Highland Way, and they rocked up to the same town as us, so we stopped and met each other, and just up the staircase we'll be back on the West Highland Way, or the road part of the West Highland Way. They're such a lovely couple, and I think I might have mentioned before, if you want to check out their blog, Wall to Wall, where they wall-to-wall cycle, you will be able to see that they cycled from Adrian's Wall in the UK to the Great Wall of China, and it's quite an adventure. So the West Highland Way is going to be a lot busier route, it seems, because we barely started it and we must have seen 20 or 30 40 perhaps other walkers doing various stages of the West Highland, where they're just doing a little day walk or whether they're doing the whole thing, we're not always sure. The boys just ahead of us from Germany, they're staying in a hostel and they're just walking to hostel I think, and many other hikers. But I was thinking that it's a shame that the beginning of a lot of these walks are along roads like this with a lot of traffic. But I suppose for Michelle and I, even if the start was designated up here, we would still have to walk to it in order to start. So in hindsight, that thought was a waste of time. So we've got many meters, or maybe a kilometre or so, these parking cones all along the pathways, and I think there must be some event over here where they want you to pay to park, so they're making it very clear that you're not allowed to park on the roadside. But what they have done consequently is made the walking path really narrow because of these blasted cones all the way along. So Michelle and I are having to walk in single file because of somebody who wants parking fees on this side. Yep, your guess is as good as mine. And I wasn't wrong, because there it is. Pay at the machines. So all this all this extra work so the council can collect money off of visitors, but at the same time no consideration of putting these. I mean, look at this. All we had to do was pop this over there, and then you've got a little bit more walking space. Somewhere up there in the clouds is Ben Nevis. You cannot see it because it's perpetually shrouded in cloud, but it's up there somewhere. Quite a lovely campsite right near the start, or the end, I guess. It's chock-a-block with tents, but a nice campsite for those that are walking up or climbing up Ben Nevis or doing the Highland Way. Unfortunately, it's too early for Michelle and I. By the time we want to stop, it'll be a ditch by the roadside. And I do believe this campsite is about 4 kilometres outside the town centre, and I do believe it's possibly the last of our footpath to a much more basic pathway on the opposite side.
Got spaces for tents.
But are we still, have you seen a brown sign?
No, I was thinking that. We better just check.
It's got to be. Got to be still the proper route. It's a nightmare. Oh, we've been walking down the wrong road. We pulled off. We were following the West Highland Way, and we pulled off to have a little picnic. Only about 200 yards of a bit of a lay-by by a river with our friends. But by doing so, we must have missed the turning to the West Highland Way, which is now right up there on the edge of that mountain. But as luck would have it, a couple have told us that this road that we're just coming up to now actually leads and joins up to it. So yeah, we may have inadvertently messed it up at the very start, and I did think it was a pretty awful walk,
Yeah,
to be honest.
And no signs.
But now
Okay, let's hope.
we believe this road will lead us back to it. We feel, well, I feel really wasteful in our time, but actually there is a sign there saying West Highland Way this way, so it is another route, and it's quite a pleasant one.
We've got to get up to that.
And we should have been climbing. There's a road, I don't know if you can see it, that's the West Highland Way, and this nice little country road is going to lead us up there. So probably all in all, we've not made much of a detour, but by luck, by pure luck more than anything else. So not too bad. A little bit of a steep hill to come up, but I do believe we're back on
The right road.
the West Highland Way. Mind, this is technically West Highland because there was some signposts down there.
There was.
Yep, there we go.
Oh, fantastic.
There she is. There's our mistake, our folly. And here is, mind you, it's still white.
Yep. And it's going to be white on brown signs.
Ah, maybe. And here's a group of jolly hikers coming down towards us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 girls, I think. It's very beautiful up here. It's a little bit cold and windy,
It's going to be cold tonight.
but very almost Austrian looking.
Very majestic, isn't it?
Not sure which one Ben Nevis is.
It's one of the ones in the clouds.
I wanted to go woohoo, but the wind took it out of me. We just found ourselves a pole, a walking pole, not a proper one, just a stick, and we were trying it because a lot of people got sticks, but we used it for about a few minutes and just felt it stopped us walking properly.
Well, it was a bit heavy. I will try it again with a lighter one, but I don't think I'm going to like it. So.
I felt it knocked the cadence out of my arm swing.
Me too.
So we're coming up to the switchback, which you might be able to see, which means we would have done 5 miles. I think we've done more because of our slight diversion, but we've definitely done at least 5 miles by the time we get to the top of this switchback, probably closer to 6. The first section of the walk is about, for us anyway on this map, is about 10 and a half miles. So I think Michelle and I could have done this in a breeze.
I think today I'd rather walk a bit further today and then get up a bit later tomorrow. Tomorrow's supposed to be a good sunny day, so maybe we'll have a warm start.
But look at that view.
Wow.
Turn.
Wow.
Look.
Wow. And up there,
Our friend Matthew.
right up there, is Ben Nevis, I believe.
Ben Nevis, but our friend Matthew is walking up there, probably on that sort of, I don't know if you can see that mountain path that leads up around the edge of that, but it goes a lot higher. Ben Nevis itself is under that cloud. And yeah.
Well, we were down there this morning.
We were
There's the campsite and way over.
way beyond the valley that you can see and off to the left. So we've done well, and we've still got a few more cells left in the battery.
We've done well today. We've had 2 friend stops.
We had 2 lovely friend stops. We started very late. I would say we were probably 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock,
Oh, yeah.
maybe before we really got underway. But we've already knocked off close to 5 miles of a 10-mile course, and we don't need to do the full 10 tonight. We'll stop when we see a place that suits us. We've seen a couple of spots, but it's just too early.
We can go a bit more today.
So we want to get more done. Michelle actually is feeling the uphills a lot easier than she used to.
Oh yeah, my lung capacity is getting better. Legs don't ache. I used to go a few steps and stop, but now I can go quite a way before I have to stop.
Yeah, I mean, we've walked miles up this mountain edge.
I still stop before Steve, but not for long though. I recover quicker than I used to, so.
And she wouldn't have been able to talk,
No.
which I can.
I just used to go, hi.
So, up around the switchback, maybe another mile or 2. Only 3 miles short of our full day's walk, but we didn't start, as I say, till about 3.
Cool.
We'll be happy with that. Unlike the Northern Highlands, every time I met anyone, I assumed they were probably doing the end-to-end trail that Michelle and I was doing. So nobody ever was, or very few were. But on this walk, I suspect very few are doing more than just the West Highland Way, because it's quite a challenge on its own.
And we just met some girls from all over the world, but studying in Edinburgh University, and they've just done from King's House down to Fort William, and then they're going up Ben Nevis tomorrow.
So people doing shorter walks than us, but really enjoying this beautiful West Highland Way, which actually is more stunning than anything we've seen north of here. Maybe the cliff tops up around John O'Groats, when we were just too tired to even open our eyes. Anyway, thankfully the weather isn't horrendous, which it also has been most of the walk. Now I'm just heading down from where we're camping to look for water. I heard water, running water. There's a little bit coming in there. I want nice, clean, fresh water. And you can hear it. If you stand, you'll see coming through that valley at the top there, there's some quite heavy water flow coming down there. So just you sit and listen. Now this water's possibly okay, just coming off this bank up here. I'll just go a little bit further, see if I can get a faster or a bigger flowing stream, but I'm reasonably happy with that one. You want some water, which I'll boil for cooking and coffee and things, but it's pretty good, the water up here. You just listen out. I know that there's quite a flow of water down from this high mountain above me, and there's a bird of prey hovering up there. Obviously got his eye on something. You won't be able to see it, not with this wide angle. But I'll just have another little listen and see if I can hear. That's a little dry stream, so it's a bit dry there. What I'm going to do is I'm betting there's some decent water just back here. So I'm going to follow that path in, see if I can get a nice little flow. Yeah, so I'm just going up this little pathway, which really is a little streamway. But I can hear a little bit, I can hear running water again. Now here's a spot. This is what I was looking for. So I actually came back off that little road, and this will be fine. This water will be great. So there you have it. You just sort of look for a stretch where the water's coming down. You can see it all over these mountains, and just try and find a place where it's running fast off of the mountain. Sometimes it's like that, a little bit of a waterfall. Sometimes it'll be, you know, a fast flowing stream. I tend to prefer it like that, where it's coming straight off of the rocks. It looks crystal clear. We're going to be boiling it for cooking. I'm not going to risk drinking water out in the wild. Not that I think the water up here, everyone says it's perfectly good, but we don't want to upset stomach or some infection to stop this challenge we're doing. So anyway, good night everyone. Little tips on finding water. I just missed them. It's getting late. The night's drawing in, and there's still joggers. Well, there's two. We haven't seen many people in the last couple of hours. There's two joggers going for a run in the mountains. So I caught them. I think they're running up to the fort and possibly back down again. And tonight's meal is the rest of the cooked chicken we got in Fort William, with the juices from the chicken and some couscous. At the bottom of that, some seasoned couscous. We're just heating up the water and get it nice and boiling because it's spring water. And we pop this hot water into here, and then we put our lids on. These are the little sealing lids that clip down, give a nice firm seal, and I'll probably cover them in a towel or a jumper or a t-shirt or something, anyway, some fabric. Leave them for 5 minutes or so to allow the couscous to cook through. That'd be a lovely meal. See, the juices from the chicken are making a beautiful stock, and the couscous is already seasoned. Look at our walk today, all the way up through this valley. It's absolutely beautiful up here. Ben Nevis up above us. So that is Ben Nevis, shrouded in cloud, and that is our camping spot for the night. Good night everyone.